I value your time, and so I'm just going to begin. All right. I am happy to announce I have a new computer. Well, I'm using a computer that I purchased about a year ago. And when all came to push and shove, it's like I had no choice but to say yes. So I'm now an official Mac Pro user, and I am officially moving away from Windows. It's been a process. That kind of sums up the past month on some level. All right. I want to share, first of all, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I want to share specifically about manifestation and the reasons why you are unable to manifest your heart's desire. Now, of course, if you've been following me for any time at all, you already know that I teach much about inherited emotional DNA. It is a big cause of your inability to manifest all your desire in your life. But I want to connect some more dots for you, because it's so easy for me to say that generational patterns are the reason your reality isn't what you want. You know, it's the reason our reality isn't the way we want it to be. But if you don't understand why this is the missing piece to essentially everything, then you may miss out on the most important information. I am going to assume that you have at least some knowledge around the ideas of the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. You've either heard about these ideas through media like The Secret, right? We know that. Or you have been following other teachers who teach on the law of attraction. If you don't know what the law of attraction is, it's a very basic, high-level description. A high-level description would be the idea that whatever you focus on, you will bring about. So if you focus on how bad your life is and how much debt you are in, then you will end up eventually making it worse. It's going to get worse, and you're going to get more in debt. But if you focus on gratitude for what you already have, even if you don't have a lot, and visualize yourself in your ideal life, you will attract your ideal life. It'll come to you. I really don't talk about the law of attraction very often, but today I want to talk to you about it because I know for a fact that a lot of you hold on to these ideas and have developed lives of gratitude and positivity. And you spend time thinking and visualizing your ideal future. These are all amazing things. I love when people tell me that they are focusing on the positive, accepting responsibility for their own outcomes, and are no longer playing the role of victim in their life. Where often when we play victim, everyone else's reality is our fault, like how we perceive that world around us is our fault. And when we own it, it changes the dynamic as well. Embracing these habits of gratitude and positivity and responsibility are a sign of emotionally mature person. Someone who has done some internal work and who is committed to continued growth as a person. However, If your sole strategy for achieving what you desire in life is to depend on the law of attraction to get where you are or where you want to be, you have a missing piece, a missing big piece. And I would say the main piece of the puzzle. Let's think for a moment about some of the things that you do attract more when you do attract more of what you desire. When you do attract more of the desire, you believe in the law of attraction. That's a basic foundation. You might come up with some really powerful affirmations and say them multiple times per day. You might create a vision board and have reminders of what you desire located throughout your house, your space, and spend the most of your time thinking about them. Or when you have spare time, you think about them. You may have a gratitude journal or a daily practice or discipline of gratitude. You may spend time actively visualizing what it is you desire as you already have it in hand, utilizing all your senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, and more. These are all amazing practices, and I recommend that people do use these in some sort of way. But let's think about what you are trying to achieve with each one of these. Stick with me here. What it is that you are trying to achieve through affirmations, gratitude, and visualization and positive thinking, what is that you're trying to achieve? Well, you are trying to override the reprogramming and reprogram your subconscious. That's it. That's all you are trying to do. When you state out loud an affirmation that you are happy and healthy and have everything your heart desires, what you are doing is coming up against the belief that none of that is true. Because if it was true, you wouldn't be in need of saying that affirmation for it, right? If you are in a happy and fulfilled relationship, you are not stating an affirmation that says you are in a happy and fulfilled relationship. No. The affirmations that you choose, we all do, are exactly where you feel stuck. You are stating affirmations to try and change your current perspective or reality. Gratitude works a little differently. When you spend time being thankful for something small, let's say you get an unexpected refund in the mail for $100. If you are intentionally grateful for that, it sends out a signal that you want more. And it doesn't matter how it comes in. Let's make it more refunds, right? It is creating a new pattern at the level of the subconscious. Visualizations and positive thinking are two other tools often used. The whole premise with this is that your mind doesn't know what is real and what is not real. So you are not creating an environment where the things you want can become true. But this premise isn't entirely accurate. And I think this is where I see most people falling apart and not being able to manifest their heart's desires. Because although your subconscious may not be able to distinguish fully between what is real and what is not real, it does know the difference between what is true and what is not true. This is the whole purpose of the subconscious. This is where your inner wisdom, your knowledge, or that gut feeling comes from. This is a huge distinction. that needs to be made. So let me say this again. Your subconscious may not be able to distinguish between real and not real. So if you get really into your visualizations about you being like interviewed on a top podcast for the book you just wrote, your subconscious may not know that didn't really happen on some level, but it does know the difference between you saying, all right, I have 10 million in the bank, I have $10 million in the bank, and the fact is you have 100 in your bank account. So your subconscious will call you out, in a sense, as being a liar. It's calling out false alarm, false belief. And if you try to state an affirmation or force yourself to believe something that is far outside of you and your current reality, I just said your subconscious is the truth teller. So to think that you can walk around stating, I have millions of dollars in the bank, when you don't, and that your subconscious is going to accept it, get on board with it, it will not make sense. The subconscious will begin to call you out in non-verbal ways, as things may start occurring to prove the point that what you are saying is not true, because your subconscious doesn't want you to be deluded. It will begin to point out to you all the reasons why you are saying you have $10 million in the bank and why it is not true. This is why some people start to experience the exact opposite of what they are trying to affirm. This is where some of the teaching of the law of attraction begins failing people, right? Because first, they are not being properly taught how to use affirmations. And secondly, they are not being taught the specific reasons why they are engaging in these disciplines in the first place. All of this to say, there is a missing piece to the law of attraction that I believe is number one reason why people think the law of attraction doesn't work for them, or it even seems to make their situation worse. You still with me? Okay. If this is making sense, right? Go ahead and, if this is making sense, just pause. Think about it, how it shows up in your life. Please post any questions you might have, and when I'm done, I will go back in and I will answer them, even if you are watching the replay. Please post your questions if you have one. So, what is the answer to this? What is the missing piece? Before I tell you, let me ask you something. Which do you think would be more effective? Trying to change your subconscious patterns from the outside in or the inside out? Which do you think would give you lasting change? Addressing the foundation of the patterns, assumptions, and beliefs and habits, or trying to pick away at them a little at a time through affirmations? First, it's not one or the other, it's both. Gratitude, affirmations, and visualizations are all great tools, but if you do not address the foundation of the unwanted pattern, then all you are doing is picking away at this little by little, bit by bit, which might take you years or decades to get anywhere. Going to the source, that is addressing your subconscious mind directly, is a much more effective and transformational way of addressing these unwanted patterns and beliefs. And here is what I specialize in and know to be true after working with hundreds of people across all the globe. It is not just your experiences that have created your perspective. You didn't enter your life as a blank state. All those experiences, traumas, and outcomes, cultural norms and assumptions that your ancestors held onto will, on some level, impact your own perspective and assumptions about the world around you and what is possible for you. And remember, these inherited emotions exist on the level of the subconscious. So you probably don't even know they are there or how they are impacting you or where they came from. But the truth is, they are there and they are impacting you, and it doesn't matter how many affirmations you do to say you are a multimillionaire. If your subconscious knows that you grew up poor and that your ancestors were also poor, it will double down on what has already been your reality until that pattern is removed from your subconscious and replaced with the opposite belief that you deserve wealth, and that wealth is within your divine right to ask for and receive, and that wealth is possible for you, and that it is safe for you to be and have more money. Only then will your subconscious become aligned with what you are trying to achieve and will begin working for you and not against. Instead of showing you all the reasons why you are not wealthy, it will begin to show you the positive little things that are happening and how happiness is lasting longer and opportunities to build wealth will grow. And to be clear, this isn't just about money. I'm just using this as an example. This is for anything you want in life. Love, impact, meaningful relationships, health, the ability to travel, the ability to share your talents with the world, whatever it is. Once you identify and remove the stuck pattern that you inherited that exists on the level of the subconscious and replace it with a belief that is fully aligned with the thing you desire, you can receive it with less struggle. You will be more in flow with it. It will come naturally for you. So if you have been playing around with the ideas of law of attraction and are not seeing what it is for your desires, like if your desires are not coming into your reality, I hope what I have just said has brought to light why this may be not happening. As always, I love being with you, and I am sending you lots of love.